So Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1. First win for Arteta against Dean Smith in 4. Thomas Partey, first goal. Smith Rowe absolutely running the show again. Scored as well. I think that's 3 in his last 5 games, perhaps. Aubameyang, lovely little penalty. And all in all,
3 bad.
3 points. Not bad, Kenny. What did you make of it?
You know what? I totally agree with you. I think what's happened is that we understood Villa were playing with all their ballers. They're playing with Douglas, Douglas. They also played with Buendia, and they played with McGinn. And then basically we instead of matching them light for light, we just used all our power. And I just thought, Thomas Partey with his power, like I said, he was athleticism, controlling the midfield. Lacazette had one of his best games for us as well. And I thought, Bukayo Saka, like I said, he got more and more in the game, got a lot of confidence, opened up his legs, and I thought Villa were there for the taking. Even before we got our goal, we were at it. We weren't letting them pass the ball. Villa's tempo was slow, and we managed to inject a really, really fast tempo, and Villa couldn't cope with it. And it was only a matter of time before we got a goal. And it was, I'm very pleased that Thomas Partey got his goal today, because I thought, he's been getting a bit closer. He's taking his shots and goal. But one thing I want to sort of touch on with Thomas Partey is that everyone assumes he's a DM. He is a DM, but he's more than a DM. And what I mean by more than a DM is that, to be a top class player in midfield, you have to be able to, go forward. And I think what they did very well today is that Lokonga and Thomas Partey took at times proper midfield play, not just one person just doing all the work. One person is gonna, like I said, is gonna go forward. The other one's gonna hold. It's communication, just like good old days. Like with Vieira, Petit and all that. I'm not saying it they're on that level, but it was the kind of like midfield performance you want to see. You know what I mean?
100%. And you touched on Lacazette a second ago. He run his socks off, and from the first whistle tonight, he really got stuck in. I keep on
telling you this. I keep on saying it to anyone who listens. Aubameyang plays his best football when Lacazette's in the team. And the reason why I say that is because Lacazette takes defenders into what we call in football no-go areas. Like defenders, ultimately, they don't like to have no one to mark. So what will happen is that they invariably follow their player if they go into like playing the number 10 position or come into midfield, which Laka was doing. And as I always said before, you've never agreed with me, is Aubameyang is best on that left-hand side, where he can ghost in and find space that Lacazette creates by taking people out of the game. And not only did he help Aubameyang, he helped Emile as well, Emile Smith-Rowe as well, in order to find those kind of spaces. And I think that's what Laka brings to the game. I think it's been very disappointing that he hasn't been able to get a game. Maybe it's contractual, but, I'll say it once, say it first time, I suppose we're going to have to look past Lacazette because, in terms of like his goal output, it's been disappointing. But when Lacazette's on it, he's very good for the football team. But as you said before, in a lot of podcasts we've done before, you can tell Lacazette from when the kickoff, he's up for it.
Yeah.
And I think what's happened is that his appetite for this game actually started in the 95th minute on Monday when he got the equaliser. It showed the passion.
100%.
And,
from the first
he's a
whistle
captain as well.
Brilliant.
He's a captain as well. Obviously, Ober's a captain, but he's proved to be a leader, and he is a designated captain when Aubameyang's on the side. So the leadership that Lacazette presents, plus the fact that he could take defenders out of the game, is something that we've missed quite a lot. But again, you said behind the scenes, it's the best performance we've had this season. I second that because, Tottenham game, we're talking about the 35 minutes. But for me, it's like for about 78 minutes, we were fantastic. But I think it's understandable because I think what's happened is that when you bring on the substitutions, the tempo of the game gets affected. Like players who come on like Maitland-Niles, he's going to struggle with the tempo of the game. The same with Odegaard as well. Odegaard tried to make an impression, but the game was already won.
Yeah, and listen, there were some very good performances tonight. Very good. For me personally, Smith Rowe was man of the match.
I don't know. It's funny you should say that because I was having a conversation with John Cross in the mirror. John Cross the mirror because you know,
Smithers.
he knows the person. We have mutual friends, and John Cross wanted to give it to Thomas Partey. But you know, a friend of us said that you watching the same game, Partey's been giving the ball away, and I said to John Cross, I said, yeah, but Smith Rowe has got caught in possession a couple of times as well. So do you take the man of the match for him as well? But I think with Smith Rowe as well, it's that little turn of pace. He's deceptively quick, which people don't realise, and he's quick when he's running the ball. And
he's
direct.
I think that's what makes people excited about him. He gets the ball and he's gone.
But you got to give a mention as well to Vaj as well, because obviously he's come as back up to Kieran, but Kieran obviously he's succumbed to injury. I don't know whether that was hampering his performances, but I think Kieran was a bit heavy legged from the Euros. But Tavares, he gave us something that we've been crying out for, crossing. So you've got to give a massive mention to him as well. And, Laconga as well, he looked sharp. He did a bit of a partnership. But you know what? We've been down this road before, haven't we, Lee?
100%. And this is why I don't get carried away, Kenny, because we're 6 unbeaten, but we're 9th. And we could potentially be down to about 11th if Leicester and Brentford play each other and Palace have got a game and et cetera, et cetera. So we could potentially be back down to about 10th or 11th if results go against us.
Definitely.
But to go 6 games unbeaten, still with a minus goal difference, by the way. We have now got a plus goal difference in terms of games and goals. We've now got 10 goals, 9 games.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was talking to obviously the pressmen as well. Lee Dixon was there as well, but I was also talking to Johnny Cross, my new friend. And one of the things I've said is that we've been down this road before with Mikel, and what Mikel has lacked since he's been at the club in the last 22 months is consistency, a consistent run of unbeaten games. Like, Unai Emery had the unbeaten 22 games. And obviously, Arsene Wenger had the 49 games unbeaten. Yeah. And I think with Mick Arteta, the reason why fans, do get frustrated and do blame him, because simple reasons that in games like this, where you put in great performance like that, everyone's at it. Obviously, energy levels tailed off towards the end. You expect that in every game. And I know it's not always possible, but you have to strive for that. And sometimes, right, we've got to look at it. Leeds is a cup game. You don't know what Leeds are going to come with as well. They haven't won a game. I don't know if they won a game this season.
I'm not sure they have. Maybe they've won one. But either way, they're going to go with full reserve team because staying up full reserve team
because they're decimated by injuries. So this is another confidence booster. And obviously, traditionally, we always seem to get to the quarterfinals of the League Cup anyway. So that's a competition that's been very nice to us. League Cup, 75 quarters. So we expect to do that. But Leicester's a massive test because, obviously we saw Leicester's performances last week against Man United. They've got a massive, massive game against Brentford on Sunday.
And their striker, Patson Daka, somebody we were linked to bag 4 in midweek.
They scored that trick. They won 4-3 yesterday. Yesterday, so they're gonna come and they're going to be at it, and we have to match them. But we also got to we got to realise, right, is that Palace had a lot of power in midfield in the set on Monday, and Leicester are going to have significant power as well. So we've got to be able to transition from the easy ride Villa gave us by playing all their ballers, in terms of McGinn, Douglas, Costa, and playing Buendia. Leicester are going to have a bit more than that. They're obviously I know Tielemans a bit off form, but Tielemans is still a good player. It's very solid. And also you've got if Ndidi doesn't come back, you also got who's also powerful. You've got Marte's very powerful as well. So they do have a lot of power in midfield, and I think that's where it's going to be a stiff test. Leicester are very inconsistent this season. They haven't had the transition. Remember, Westergaard's coming to the team, but also most importantly as well, he's trying to shoehorn Hanacho and Vardy, where before Vardy was, when Hanacho became kind of his main last season, but Vardy's now his main man. So I think they're kind of struggling a bit with the partnership. So again, that's something we can exploit. But if you want to be taken seriously, you want to get the top 6, in terms of Europe, you've got to go Leicester and win, and you've got to go for a good few unbeaten games, maybe in the 10s and 15s, and then maybe saying, you can start talking about Europe. But that's something that Mikel needs to achieve, and he's only going to achieve that if we carry on playing on the front foot and playing this high tempo. it's only him.
100%.
It's only him can cause himself problems and not there.
And is it, and very quickly to wrap up, yeah, because we're going to do player ratings later. Is it any coincidence that Gibraltar guard was on the bench tonight and we created quite a lot?
It's funny that you go on social media, go on WhatsApp groups, and people were saying the same thing, that like there is a bit of conundrum in terms of like Emmitt Smith-Rowe and Odegaard.
Because when he came on, he slowed the game down.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that's one of the things that Arsenal fans do not want, and I think the team doesn't need is sometimes to slow the game down. We're not playing in Europe, or we're not playing international football. We play at a high tempo. When you play at a high tempo, I don't care what anyone says, you're difficult to beat. You're difficult to beat. You're difficult to keep at. And I think that that's something. That's one of the reasons why we were looking for a midfielder in the vein of someone who's more forward thinking and can open that door, rather than someone who could, slow the game down like Mesut sometimes be able to do. You know what I mean?
100%, Kenny. Listen, thanks for coming on again, mate. Get home safe. Make sure you get home safe. And I know you ain't going to have a haircut tonight, mate, because the barbers are probably shut now, yeah?
All right. I'll speak to you later.
Top man. Laters. I'll take her out.